Oh, it's been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and jail to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary, 'cause comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-rat-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
to anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. The world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid. But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee, da-dee, a-fwit-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Ya-da-da-da-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Adventures waiting further down the road. Let's go! Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie-da-lie. Ya-da-da-da-da-lie-da-lie. La-da-da-da-da-lie-da-lie.
Good evening and welcome back to the Net 21 Adventures presents Nevermore. Okay, guys, it's just me. It's Mab. I'm really excited about participating. Once again, we have brought back Risen from the Dead, you might say. The amazing game that you all loved to pieces. Nevermore by the indomitable Ian Lemke. What say we bring him? Rise from the dead, I summon you, Ian!
Here I am.
That was pretty good. That was
Thank
pretty
you.
good.
Didn't have
Nailed it.
enough time to get under there.
Tell us a little bit about what you got going on.
Well, I am excited to be back with another Nevermore tale. This time we're going to be doing The Curse of Whiskey Springs, which is a story that I've run a number of times in play testing, so it's been beaten around a little bit. So hopefully it'll be fun. We have back most of our cast, including Mab. I should also pause and let everyone know that last time I was here, I was talking about that there's going to be a Kickstarter for Nevermore. The Kickstarter is now live. You can go to Kickstarter and look for Nevermore, a role-playing game of American Gothic horror, and find it there. That's about it. Let's introduce all of our players tonight. Who's up? Oh, well, Mab, why don't you start?
Yeah, somebody's got to click the button, and I guess it'll be me. Good evening.
Sorry.
I will be button pusher tonight.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I'm Mab, just Mab. I am DC's own sideshow girl and the lover of ukuleles. Judge me not. And I'm a regular here at Now 21 Adventures. You can see me on Tuesday night. Or on the interwebs at Mab Just Mab, anywhere pretty much. I'm just yes to be on the show. So you pick a name and I will click the button.
Let's start with let's introduce May, who is our new cast member, replacing Katie this week. The amazing and fabulous May. So she's here tonight. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm May Himmer. Some of you old heads know me from the beginning of Nat 21 Adventures. I am a professional cosplayer, professional costumer. I'm also a part-time burlesque dancer. That's my official announcement that I'm part-time retiring. And I'm actually a character girl now. So if you are a fairy person, I'm actually the official Summer Fae Queen for West Virginia Shepherdstown Fairy Festival and for Festival of Legends now down in North Carolina. And I'm playing a new character. Ooh, okay, yeah, cool. You'll figure it out.
You want to tell us a little bit about the character you're playing?
Okay, I guess. All right. So I am playing Marwa. She is a North African. She's from Egypt. She is a scholar. She has she's very big in the alchemy. And she is very, very deep into her research. Maybe a little delusional. We'll see.
All right.
We're gonna be best friends.
I think everyone in the group's a little delusional in some way. Why don't we bring up Rachel next? Back is Luna Ramirez.
Hello. It's awesome to be back playing Luna again, one of the amazing, awesome pre-gens from Ian's game. I am a voice actor, writer, and general miscellaneous chef of chaos here in the Magic City in Birmingham, Alabama. I am playing Luna Ramirez, a glassblower with something of a past. As much as anyone knows, she is originally from Central America. She is somewhat of a transplant up in the Northeast. That's about all anyone knows. She's a little rough around the edges. She's kind of the Ernie Hudson of the group, got kind of thrust into here and is just learning as she goes. And if you followed the last game, Luna right now does not like ghosts. Not a big fan. And you got to show the mechanic off somehow, right? But definitely looking forward to jumping back in with these gals and, of course, playing with May. I'm very excited. So thanks for having me back.
All right. Thank you. And last but certainly not least, Christina playing Mary Mac.
Hi! I'm back for more ridiculous nonsense. Here we are. I will be your etheric engineer for the evening. Playing with my tools here. That could be a very different show. And I'm going to be playing Mary Mac, and I've got 12 brothers, and that's about all you need to know.
Sounds good. So we'll open here with a couple of things. One, I'll give a brief recap of the rules for anybody who is showing up for the first time, and just to remind everyone. And of course, May is new, so let her know a little bit. And then we're going to actually let our previous players spend a little bit of experience and sort of level up their characters a little bit. We'll go through that, and then we'll jump into the adventure. So it's sort of a session 0.5. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. 3.5. So Nevermore is a card-based system. actually, do we have one of the character sheets we can put up on the screen?
Yeah, let me share that real quick.
That'd be awesome.
Presenting. All right, look, guys, I'm going to share my character sheet. I need you to be real responsible with this information that I am about to give you. Okay.
And you can also download it for free on DriveThruRPG.
All right, yeah, that
Part of the
too.
character
Okay.
pack.
Ooh, it's not letting
Download
me.
it for free
Along with the
responsibly.
quick start.
Interestingly enough, it is not letting me.
All right. Well,
Share
I'll sort of
it.
begin, and then you can throw that out when you can. The conceit of the game is that all of the characters are members of the esoteric order, the Illuminists, which is an ancient group that's been around for hundreds, maybe thousands of years. And their goal is to fight evil. There are places in the world known as aetheros, which are literally mean is of aether, and aether is what allows magic to exist, but it also means that it allows monsters to exist. And in certain places in the world, the aether pools and coalesces, and these places become known as aetheros, and that's where bad things happen. You find haunted houses, people doing magic in the woods, and or werewolves or vampires or whatever kind of horrors you might find. So they're all part of this group. Each of them are part of an individual cabal. There are 7 cabals in the game. And each cabal has their own sort of unique outlook and how they approach fighting the etheric entities, and also their own special abilities, their own little bits of magic that they do themselves. In the group we have tonight, we have a disciple of the Emerald Tablet, and they are sort of alchemists. They use potions and that sort of thing. Mob is playing the Theragist, who's sort of a spiritist and can summon spirits, speak with the dead, banish spirits, that sort of thing. And they tend to be sometimes a little distrusted because they deal directly with spirits. And you can see her; she has Channel the Dead, Circle Protection, and Lesser Banishing Ritual. Luna is a rook. Rooks and ravens are sort of two sides of the same coin. Rooks are deal with the underbelly of society and have a lot of and have powers of shadow and stealth and that sort of thing. And then finally, we have Mary Mack, who is an etheric engineer. And Mary is etheric engineers are sort of your steampunk engineers, except for instead of steam, they use aether to power their mystical devices, which can be all sorts of funky things. Everything from an etheric grenade, which you can throw, which could blow up any etheric entities around, to spring-heeled boots or grabbers that reach out and grab things, or goggles, all kinds of cool things. So that's a little bit about the game, about the characters. If you can actually page up a little bit to the qualities. There are 4 qualities. But there we go. 4 qualities. Cardia is social and is related to hearts, as you see on the character sheet. Corpus is anything physical, fighting, running, jumping, all that sort of stuff, and is related to clubs. Psyche is anything intellectual, which is spades, and basically all your knowledge skills. And then Pneuma, which is practical knowledge and willpower, which is diamonds. Pretty simple. Whenever you're trying to do the basics of the system are pretty simple. Whenever you're trying to do something, let's say you're trying to throw something. You're gonna try and throw a rock and hit someone or whatever. To make a throw test, she has 2 triangles in throw, which means that she gets to draw 2 cards. And if any of those cards is, and then you're using corpus, so the corpus score is 5. The stats, the qualities range from 2 to ace, basically just like cards. So what you're looking for is a 5 or under on either of those cards, or a club. If you get either one of those, it counts towards a success. And different actions require different numbers of successes. At any point, I refer to it as risk in the game. If I say it's risk 2, that means you need 2 successes. So And then the sort of special bonus part of that is if it is both of the same suit and equal to or under the quality, in that case 5, you get 1 success and a point of fortune, and fortune is sort of the meta currency in the game. Fortune can be spent. That fortune can be spent right away to get another success, or you can hold on to it. And later on, you can use fortune at any point to buy another success, or if you fail completely, to make another test, or you also need fortune to power your cabal gifts. They're special powers. Anytime someone spends a fortune, if you don't spend it right away, anytime later, there you go. Schematics, it costs 1 fortune. If you don't spend it, if you spend it right away, it just goes back into the fortune pool, and there are 5 fortune tokens for every player, so that means a total of 20. Everybody starts with 1. I start with 1 for each player. If you spend it any other time, that fortune token goes to the narrator and becomes a doom token. And I can spend doom tokens in much the same way that players can spend fortune to power the dark gifts of the etheric entities and that sort of thing, or to buy extra successes or what have you. I don't get doom for when I make tests, though. It doesn't matter what my critters do. I don't get any doom. If you don't have any fortune, you can always spend a fortune. So you can always have access to your special powers and such, to your special gifts. But what happens then is you take 1 fortune to pay for it, and that goes to the narrator. And then I get a second one out of the fortune pool. And if at any point the fortune pool runs out, your doom falls upon you. Last game, we didn't have that happen. So it doesn't always. But if your doom falls upon you, it allows me to interject something into the story that shakes things up. Something bad happens. An ally turns against you. A new enemy appears. Who knows? But
it didn't happen last game, but it could happen this game.
Could happen this game.
Sorry.
Goals.
Nope. Goals. So that is the basics of it. I do want to discuss real quick Disciples of the Emerald Tablet and Etheric Engineers, because their cabal gifts are a little bit wonky compared to everybody else's. Everybody else's are pretty straightforward. There's this ritual I have, whatever. Theirs involve items, and with Nevermore, rather than having you have a big checklist of equipment. I mean, basic equipment, yes, but I don't want people to have to say, okay, I'm making 6 etheric grenades and 2 sets of goggles, and as the disciple, I'm making 3 of this potion, 2 of this potion. I don't want people to have to deal with that. What's assumed is you have either pieces and parts for most of these things, or have pre-made them, or what have you. And when you need one, what you do is you spend a fortune, and then you have to make a test to see if it works. And it's just assumed that you have it on you. So the test is not to make it actually right then and there, but just to see if you did well in the past. So that test is sort of technically taking place in the past. But you make the test right then and there. If the test is successful, it works, and it goes forward. If you have a workshop, depending on the rank of your workshop, if your workshop usually 1 to 5 actually, but for every level of workshop, you can make one of your devices without spending fortune for free. You still have to make the test to see if it works, but you don't have to spend fortune. So in this case, May could throw 3 Reek Fires, because she's got workshop 3 without having to spend any fortune. So that's how that all works. I'm going to get into, we'll hit rules as we hit them in the game, rather than go over everything. I think that gives you a good basis of how it works. I do want to go over grit real quick. Grit is sort of your hit points, but it also can be used to increase your chance of success. If you take damage, you can mark off grit to avoid taking damage conditions. And at any point, if you're making a test, you can also spend grit to to buy additional cards. Every point of grit you spend lets you pull another card, and there's no limit to how much you can spend. However, if you blow through all of your grit, the next time you get tapped, you're going to take some damage for real. And that's that. Like I said, we'll get to the rest of it later. We were also going to do a little character advancement, I think I said, right?
Yeah, buddy.
All right.
I like the sound of that.
So I will say, I'll be honest, the character advancement system is still a little under construction with Nevermore. Because it's one of the areas I've gotten, all the core rules together, all that kind of stuff is solid, but there are, a few things like that. And while some other writers are doing a little bit of additional writing, that's one of the things I want to be doing is play testing character advancement and running some additional games for that. But right now, I'm just going to say, with the way I have it working right now, basically you get 1 point of experience for every session, and then you get anywhere from 1 to 5 additional experience for the story. Basically determine on how many acts are in the story. How big was the story. So in this case, I would say it's probably 3 base for the story at the end that you would got, and we did 3 sessions, so that would be 6 XP that you would have. So
yeah, I don't see a spot on the character sheet to add 6 XP.
No, there isn't. You're right. That's why it's not playtesting.
I think
there we go.
I think Jacqueline's stepdaughter raises up a really good point.
What's that?
Of resistance to ghosts for Luna.
Yes, the hardening bit too. I'll go over that in a minute. So you can't use XP to raise hardening, but you could use XP to raise your qualities. You could use XP to raise skills, and you could use XP to purchase additional Cabal gifts. So you would have enough with 6 to raise any quality that is 6 or under by 1.
Quality.
It says cardiac, corpus, psyche, and pneuma.
Yeah.
So you could raise one of those by 1.
Okay.
The cost for raising a skill is 2 times the current level. So if you have a 1, or 3 for a new skill. If you want, to buy a new skill, yeah.
Oh, wait, just to be clear, these are the skills.
Yes, these are the skills down below,
and these are the
qualities.
Qualities. Yeah. So I could raise this number by 1.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
I know. I'm pretty pumped about that too. Not gonna lie.
Anything that's lower than a 6.
6 or lower, you could raise by 1. One of them, not all of them, but
right. But this one,
you wouldn't have enough to raise because it gets more expensive when it gets to 7.
Okay.
Basically, the higher it is, it tiers up. The higher the current stat is, the more it costs.
So let's say one of these is. Let me scroll up to another one here. Okay, so this one is 5, and this one is 3.
You could raise that one to 4, or that one to 6.
Okay, so all 6 XP points would be spent raising it.
All 6 would be spent raising the corpus to 6. You would actually have a couple left over if you raise the pneuma.
Okay.
You could theoretically raise a skill too.
Okay. Oh, all right. Not my character.
Not your character. Yeah. Why don't we just go through one at a time and everybody do theirs? So Mab, you've got the thing open. Why don't we go to yours and see what you want to do?
Let me swap out my character with my. Let's see. Here we go. The thaumaturg was that up here?
Hey, there's my girl.
Let's see. Etheric engineer. That is the Raven. This is the Rook. That's Luna. Hey, let's just do Luna. You're right here.
Hey.
Let's do Luna.
Okay, let's do Luna.
Let's do it.
So, were you looking for a new Cabal gift? Were you looking to raise a quality or go after some skills? The sight also, keep in mind, does count as a quality and skills as well.
I was going to say the way I like to level up characters is usually based on what they did the most in their last session.
Okay. Yep. That's.
I know that she was pretty physical in dealing with a ghost in the last session.
Okay.
So I kind of feel like she would probably have something reflect that in her leveling up, like learning a little bit more. So I feel like that would be I want to say like a skill.
Okay, so let's go up the skills.
Yeah.
All right. So it could be. I mean, if you wanted to, you could buy a new skill for 3 points,
right?
Or you could rate. Well, none of the. Yeah, you could rate because it's the new level times 2. So these would be raising to 4, which would be 8 points, and you don't have that much.
Right. Maybe a quality then instead.
Okay. You could raise Cardia, and then that would spend all of your points.
Cardia is already on 6.
Yeah, that's already on 6 though.
You could raise your Psyche. You could raise your Pneuma.
I feel like survival would probably go up in that case.
Survival?
Yeah.
Well, you want to buy survival skill. Now, keep in mind, survival is outdoorsmanship. It's like, tracking, hunting, fishing, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, athletics, firearms, fisticuffs, intimidate might have been nice because I think you tried to intimidate it.
I think I did at 1.2, yeah.
But you didn't have the skill.
I was going to say maybe something like intimidate or even ritual, just because there were a lot of rituals at the end of the last session.
Yeah. I mean, you could take ritual. It's not going to be terribly useful for you. The only time other than maybe understanding something, you'd mostly be assisting the therapist. Not that that's a bad thing, but I think, like you said, something what you did makes more sense. Probably like intimidate or fisticuffs. I mean, you could even put a point in both of those if you wanted to.
Right, because you could theoretically buy 3 new skills with 6.
No, that's 2. 2. They're 3
each. I was gonna say 2.
Oh, they're 3 each. I thought it was okay. Yeah, so 2 new skills. Yeah, you want to do that?
I'm kind of up for like doing some like Tom Hardy stuff for the group. So I'm definitely down for intimidate and fisticuffs.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you just get 1 dot in each.
Meathead. I'll be the Chris Hemsworth of the group. I don't mind.
All right. All right. So who are we doing next?
Give me a Chris Hemsworth.
Scholar, soldier.
All the people we don't have. There you go. That's you.
It's me, eh? So I had a question about like hardening. Can you?
Yes. Oh,
because that was another thing Luna was asking about.
Well, really, all of you are going to get to do this. The way you do your hardening increase is you make a test with the number of cards you have, and if you fail, your hardening goes up by 1.
All right.
So,
what I was going to say, what do you need?
I think, I didn't keep track because I didn't realize we were doing a second one, so we didn't keep track of what you all did. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to, for sake of this, I'm just going to say all of your horror hardening goes up by 1. I think that's fair.
That checks out.
Only going to put anyone to 3. It's not going to put anyone in any danger of going, to 4 or things.
Super beefy, right? Gotcha.
Good.
I'm invulnerable.
You start getting desensitized.
That would bring her. You said the hardening would go up by 1.
Yes.
All right.
For all of you. I am saying that's for all of you.
Oh, okay. Copy.
The hardening on horror. Yeah.
Yeah.
Copy. I see. Okay.
Because my horror hardening is 2. I've already scrolled to my character sheet. I would also like to ask about increasing the sight.
Okay. Yes, the sight, it works just like a skill or a. So you could increase the quality of the sight to 6, if you wanted, and that would use everything. Or you could increase the skill, increase skills if you wanted to.
And let me look here and see what some of my other skills are. I mean, right now I'm kind of leaning towards the sight because it seems to be what she focuses on.
Mm-hmm.
Is seeing things. And
so the question is, do you want to raise the quality or skill in one of the particular?
If I raise the quality, that essentially gives me more opportunity for successes in all of them.
Yeah, well, it works that way, sort of either way, but yes.
Yeah. And if I was to raise locus up 1 point, that would be the next level, which is 2 times 2. Is that what you said?
Yes. So 4.
That'd be 4.
Yeah.
And that would leave me 2x.
Which you wouldn't be able to do anything with, really, at this point.
Exactly. So I would buy up the sight.
Okay. So your sight goes to 6.
And that's pretty straightforward.
Yep. And so if you go all the way to the beginning, if you just page it all the way to the top, that would be etheric engineer.
All right. That is you, Miss Merrimack.
That's me. I don't want to die. What do I do?
Okay, so like I said, you could raise any one of your qualities by 1, or if there's a skill you feel you're missing, you could buy it. Or actually, you could theoretically even buy 2, or you can raise existing skills. Anything that's 1 or 2, you wouldn't be able to raise a 3.
All right. In the hopes of getting to our game faster, I'm going to go to Corpus up to 6.
All right, there you go. Boom. Done.
Let's do it. I'm ready. Let's go.
And you know what? I'm gonna let May have an XP too, because it's sort of not fair to let all of you be ahead of her.
I mean, it's fine. However, I would take that, and you know what? I feel like I know where this is going just from backstory. So I too will buy. You said it's 2 times the original.
For what? For skills? Yes.
For skills.
2 times the what it's coming to. So if you're raising it from 2 to 3, that would be 6 points.
Okay, can I just like say I have 4 XP because I'm so cool and I'm coming in late and I'm like the cool kid, so
That's
I can
fine.
raise my medicine. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Done. All right.
Like we're gonna need medicine, y'all, from where I'm hearing all this.
Who's that?
I know that girl. I mean, I know that woman.
Just saying.
All right. Now let's get into the story. Thank you all for putting up with that. So it's November 8th, 1888. You all are at the lodge, except for Mar. Well, I'm going to say the 3 of you are already there. Mar was off somewhere. I don't know, Mar, would they have known where you went or why you weren't around recently? Or would you
How
have
would
told
I
them?
tell them that? Like, I
don't know.
Like, no, it's
Well,
fine.
they're friends.
I went on holiday.
Okay. You all know she was on holiday. It is in the early evening. And you're sort of just browsing. I don't know. What are each of you doing? It's sort of the day that you get together at the lodge. Like I said, it's about a week after where you would have gotten back, probably sometime around the 1st or 2nd of November. And well, actually, no, you finished the thing before the 31st. So you may have gotten back a little earlier. But either way, it's about a week.
Yeah, it would be like November 6th, 7th-ish.
Right.
Mara, because I'm so smart, is reading a book. I may be by my personal library with a snifter of crystal of something questionable. Back from her vacation.
All right.
That's what I'm doing.
And it is Monday, by the way.
Cool. Apparently, I'm on chapter 9 of Women Can Too.
Excellent.
Yes, they can. They totally can.
I'm very busy at work trying to make rocket-powered goggles for no other reason than they might be able to make me fly or they might burn my hair off. But I'm determined to figure out which is which.
Okay. Sounds good. Every now and again, you all hear like a little explosion from the basement.
I would say most likely Luna is probably burning through a cigarette outside and sees like a plume of smoke.
Yeah, coming out of
from like one of those basement windows.
The coal chute.
Yeah, and
comes
just
up out of the coal chute.
and flips to another page in the newspaper. She'll probably finish burning the cigarette and eventually go inside.
Okay. And Madame Marvo.
Madame Marvo is chilling TF out. Yes.
Okay.
Look, it's been a long time, and business has been very good recently, and I've got more work than I know what to do with. And I swear, I just took a bath. I'm waiting for my hair to dry.
It is winter. Well, at least late fall, winter has started to arrive. It got cold fast, and it's more importantly, there's like sort of a driving light misty rain. It's almost spitting sleet with the rain outside. It's dark and gray. Got dark very early. I mean, you have some cover out back, so you're probably out back, having your cigarette. But yeah, the weather has taken a nasty turn for the worse. Just as Luna is stepping inside, there is a loud rapping at the door, at the front door.
We have someone to answer. Someone to answer.
That's
Yes.
wonderful.
Yes.
Let someone else enter it. It's totally fine.
Someone
else can do that. I'm in the middle of a book.
On,
you
hold on.
survived.
Okay.
You survived.
Okay.
Wonderful.
She's just like she'll walk to the door and kind of like, if she's hearing interjection, she'll kind of turn around and do the hands, like palms down. All right, I got it.
I thought like legit. I thought we had servants for this.
Yeah, you do. You do.
I
Actually.
mean,
you can, and he will go get the door if.
Oh crap! Oh, and she'll kind of step aside as she's like putting a cigarette butt in her pocket.
If you want, or one of you can jump in and answer it. It's that's entirely up to you.
Oh hell no!
Is
no,
that
no.
not
We
what
have
we trade people
Alfred's
for?
door.
No, yeah, it's like I would say that like if there it would be kind of almost like a merge lane gone wrong, and Luna would kind of sidestep for the servant to go in there and do that,
Right.
and play it off as her. I'm just gonna lean against this wall anyway, and keep an eye on the door and just see if just anyone else is around, like just in the lobby or
Well, in the parlor.
In the parlor,
Mara was there, reading her book, and I think, and Madame Marvo is probably over by the fire, which I'm sure, which is definitely going at this point. I should probably actually say a little bit about the lodge for anyone who hasn't joined us before. The lodge is where the members of the Esoteric Order of the Illuminists gather, once a week or so. The same to sort of sort through newspapers, magazines, periodicals. You get everything delivered there, pretty much up and down the East Coast. Looking for unusual events or that might be worth investigating. It's in downtown Baltimore. It's about 3 stories tall. It's a rather wide row home. It's got a small courtyard out back where Mr. Edmund Krause, who is your servant, grows some herbs and vegetables and such during the spring and summer. There's also a small bedroom where Mr. Krause stays. There's a study. There's extra bedrooms. If any of you have a library, it's probably here. The workshops are probably located here as well for both your disciple and your etheric engineer. You also have access to 2 horses and a horse-drawn carriage that's kept in a stable a few blocks away. You also have just general equipment and gear that you might need for any investigative purposes here as well. And I should note that I believe, let's see, the rules for building a lodge, which is going to be 8 additional pages for the rule book, that stretch goal has been hit with the Kickstarter.
Nice.
So there's going to be an additional section, not only just saying, you have a lodge, this is sort of what it does. There's going to be actually some cool rules on like for building a lodge with, advantages and disadvantages. Like your lodge could be haunted, that sort of thing, or have a bad reputation or whatnot.
Is our lodge haunted? I would like that. That would be fun.
I'm not going with yours being haunted, at least not yet.
Give it time. Give it time.
Give it a few days.
BYOG.
Bring
no, don't do that. Don't bring your own guns.
Mr.
Oh, man.
Kraus goes to the door. He seems a little put out at the rapid knocking.
Oh, sweet. All right.
Cracks it open and looks outside, and the wind sort of blows some rain and sleet in. He sort of makes a face, and that you hear a young woman's voice. Please, may I come inside? It's quite wet out here. And he sort of steps back and looks at all of you, opens the door a little wider, except for Mary Mac, who's still in the basement. But maybe on her way up, having just heard the
I move my walking stick.
Okay.
Quotations into my lap.
Okay. He opens the door, revealing standing in the door is a young woman. Looks to be maybe in her early mid-20s. She's got long, now bedraggled and sodden red hair, porcelain skin, wide eyes. You note that her eyes, one is her left eye is green and the right is brown. And she's wearing a nice dress. It looks like she's of upper middle class. It's a dark blue. It looks like sort of a traveling, probably something you'd wear for traveling. And may I come in? And Kraus looks at all of you.
Yes, of course. Let her in, this poor child. Come, sit by the fire, warm yourself.
She immediately, comes forward and sort of stumbles into the room. She doesn't have a parasol or umbrella or anything. She's just completely soaked through. She goes over to the fire and immediately begins, rubbing her hands. Thank you so much.
You will be getting us tea, she says to blanked on the name again.
Kraus.
Yes, some tea, please, and maybe those little warm bread cookie things.
Yes, madam. Yes.
Oh, the clotted cream. The clotted cream's good too.
He bustles off to the kitchen. I heard rumor that you investigate the weird and unusual things, strange happenings.
Darling, we are the happenings.
She kind of looks around at the group of you. I see. Yes. But do you investigate such things that are unnatural?
Sit down, tell us your story. But yes,
we have a tendency, sure.
She then unbuttons her purse and pulls out a
money.
a fold. What looks like a folded up piece of newspaper, and offers it to you. Exactly, offers it to Madame Marvo, since she's the one.
I was going to say, with neighboring Marvo, Luna's going to kind of circle around a little closer once she's telling that it doesn't seem there's a threat here.
Right. But keeping an eye on her.
Yeah, keeping an eye on her, but getting a little closer.
So, did that show on Roll20 to all of you?
oh, yes, sorry.
Yeah,
Let me add to stream.
Tucking the
we
roll
can
of
see it.
newspaper under her arm as she's walking closer.
Does that make it bigger? Bigger.
I can read it too if you'd like.
So this is the article.
That's the article.
Something about the Whiskey Springs Chronicle, November 8th, 1988.
See, she cuts you off as you start reading. I really have to go. I'm sorry. And Kraus is just coming back in with some cookies and clotted cream and cups of tea on a tray. Because I beg your forgiveness. I really need to go. And
you must leave.
Luna's gonna kind of cut her off and be like, hey, you just got here. I mean, you didn't even come here with an umbrella or nothing. It's cold out there.
I'm sorry. I really must go. Are you physically blocking her?
Well, it's kind of I wouldn't say she's like grabbing her by the shoulders and
Right,
blocking her.
are
She's
you
not gonna, like,
interposing yourself between her and the door, trying to keep her from leaving?
It's weird. She is kind of given it. She's not trying to keep her from leaving, but more so like she's just kind of like, oh hey.
She's trying to push past you.
You're cold, and it's you.
What is your name?
Door. What is this? What is this broad doing?
What is your name? Tell me your name before you leave.
She's just going for the door unless you're stopping her.
Hey, we want to help you. She's going to try to catch her by the elbow. We want to help you. Just give us what's your name? Can we
give me a well? Hey, you got a new skill, right? I think you just took fisticuffs, right?
Yes, I don't want to hit her.
No, but it's you can use an athletics or fisticuffs
intimidate.
I was like, oh, fisticuffs.
Or you could use intimidate to stop her. Either one, whichever one you prefer.
No, I think it would be like she was, pleasantry, and if she tried to like slide past her, she'd kind of just.
You said you were grabbing her.
Hey, we want to help you, kind of thing.
Right, but you're grabbing. You said you're grabbing. Yes. Okay, but that would be fisticuffs because fisticuffs includes any kind of physical.
Oh, okay, copy. All right.
Picking.
You lay hands on.
You're laying hands on her.
I laid hands on her in a. I care about you.
It can be gentle. I mean, it doesn't mean you're doing damage. All you're doing is just trying to hook her elbow. Okay. So
now we get to see the cards.
So you get to make a test. Do you want to spend any grit before you make your draw?
I honestly would like to spend like 1 grit.
Okay, so you get to draw 2 cards.
She literally showed up and it's like, nope, never mind, got a bail. No, kind of, yeah.
All right, 2 cards.
Yeah. Okay, so we're doing 2 cards, and let's.
I think yours is all the way at the bottom.
Yeah. Let's see. 3 of hearts.
Yep, there we go.
And sorry, let me go back to my sheet here.
They are both successes because they are both underneath. They are both under your corpus. Yeah, neither of them are a club, but both of them are under your corpus. So you got 2 successes. You successfully just basically loop your arm through
like, hey, we want to help you. You came here. We want to help you.
I'm and suddenly a fountain of blood spurts out of her mouth.
Ernie Hudson of this game.
As she just starts gagging and choking, her face going paler white than it was before. Okay. And she collapses onto the ground, choking and gagging and thrashing around for a moment, and then goes still. I am also going to require a test here. That would be a violence hardening test for anyone who is present.
Okay.
All right.
So we'll show everyone how hardening works. For May, who has not been hardening before, basically, if you're going to lose courage, which is that you are in this case, because you're witnessing this horrific thing in front of you, you can make a hardening test to resist that. And you basically get to draw. There are 4 different types of hardening. There's loss, violence, identity, and horror, which all represent different types of horrific things you can encounter. Or experience. Identity is personal. If someone breaks a promise or a vow to you, or something weird like that. Loss could be loss of a friend or a loved one or a possession. Violence is, in this case, witnessing some horrific violence, which that is the case here. And then horror is usually encountering etheric beings. In this case, it could be horror, but I'm gonna call it violence. I think with the spouting to the blood and everything.
Okay.
So, whose draw was that?
I mean, I'm right there, so definitely me.
Who drew the king of spades?
Not
that
me.
would be me. That would be me. I did
not. That would
make
be
it.
A failure. It's only 1 for you. You just lose.
I drew
1.
a Joker, Ian. That was
and you drew the wrong color of Joker. You lose.
Big Twinkie. I can't do it.
You lose 3 courage because you had her sort of in your arms, and she kind of vomited blood all over you.
At least it's at the lodge, so I'll take that. Okay,
May, you want to
so
give
that
me
was
a?
three
I
cards?
am going to do said thing, but apparently my mouse decided to die, so I was swapping out mouses. That's the correct word. Do not correct me. And so then I click.
Or you just click on it and grab it and pull it onto the table.
Oh, it
On the
says
roll
May's
20.
deck. That's so cool. Okay.
Yep, I have a deck there for you.
I was literally about to pull out some cards.
You have
Okay.
a deck, and so you this is violence. Which uses corpus in this case. So the 6 is higher than your 5, but it's a club, so that's a success. So you don't lose you lose no courage.
Woohoo!
And Mary Mac, I think we have next.
Oh,
Oh,
she
I
in
thought
place?
I was in the base.
Oh no, okay, you didn't actually come up in that case. You have nothing to write.
I wasn't sure if I should have. I mean, if you want me to come up, I could be staring it down like what in
That's fine.
gravy is going on.
You come up just let's say you hear voices and stuff. So you come up just in the aftermath of it, but you don't need to make a shock test because you
There
didn't
you go.
witness the fountain of blood. You just see her lying on the ground. Well, basically you see Luna standing over this woman covered in blood.
Luna, what did you do?
In Luna's defense, that you did not know is that she just died in her arms
Tonight.
on this night.
This
I
night.
do not. I don't understand. I do not get it. Long story short, we tried to get her to tell us about this note, and she dropped dead.
Yes. But apparently the button to kill is on her elbow. Luna, remember that move, okay?
Okay.
That is definitely
That reminds
horrific.
me of the time that my brother Craig was standing there covered in blood as well, but it turns
That
out
was
he
Craig.
just had a massive nosebleed. Was that a nosebleed, Luna?
Well, if a nosebleed comes out of people's mouths, then yes, it was a nosebleed. How is Craig? Just please take my mind off this.
Is she dead?
You might, Luna. I would recommend laying her down.
Okay.
You probably do not want to continue to hold the dead body.
No,
Is she dead? She's dead, dead,
I
dead.
don't know.
I-
I don't know.
I-
I'm
She's
just
not moving.
okay,
She twitched a little bit, gurgled, and then
Can I check
I-
for life?
Oh, I know. I was like, can I do a medical examination?
yeah, I'm not
yes,
going to
of
require
course.
you have
Luna's gonna step
medicine. I'm not going to
away
require a
and-
test for that. She's dead. Yes.
You're like, I mean,
I was gonna say, yeah, Luna's gonna step away and ignore if there is a smoking rule for the lodge, ignore that and definitely have another cigarette.
In the 1800s, cigarettes are good for you. They are prescribed by doctors.
I was gonna say
Yep.
this is
They calm your
completely
nerves.
medicinal and totally fine.
Help you breathe.
Yeah, exactly.
I would like to have conversation with this body, if I may be so bold.
Okay. Well, do you want to look at the note first, or
I mean, I did look
You're
at the
just gonna-
note,
you-
but you want me
okay.
to-
yeah? Why don't you read it so people watching?
do you want to
have an
pop it
idea.
back open?
Yeah, or I can read it if you prefer.
I can read for you. I will sum up. I won't read every word, but
Sure.
pop it open. I can't. And I will
It should
share.
be open. It should be showing to you now.
There it is.
For the sake of timing, I would like to assume that it is the local girl note, not the farmer's fair begins on Tuesday section.
That
Or
is
perhaps
possible.
it is.
Good call. Good call. But they may be relevant. Local girl found drowned in Whiskey Springs Lake. Carrie Jensen, 8. This girl is older than 8. Is found drowned in Whiskey Springs by a member of the town who preferred to remain anonymous. Interesting. Based on the report, the girl died night before, sometime around midnight, and the parents have no idea why or how she left the nearby family residence. But interesting note, the farm affair does begin Tuesday. It's not very interesting. But,
I don't know. It says local Sunday best fair Tuesday grounds between the Whiskey Springs Inn and Tavern and the Ascension Church and will be where vendors look. But maybe that's a key point. I do not know this area. I do not know.
There's also a chicken run. Don't.
Oh,
don't
and
miss
there
the
is a chicken. Oh, that's like New Orleans. I'm sorry. There is also a chicken.
The special service is kind of jumping out at me a little bit too.
Yes.
That's
As
so
a player,
strange.
Luna is smoking. So
My brother
Interesting.
Donald, he almost drowned in a lake of whiskey as well, but that was because he spilled 3 bottles on the ground and passed out and that. Also, they spelled whiskey wrong.
Did I spell whiskey wrong?
No,
This
it's not how you
is
spell it.
this is the Americas. It's totally fine. They're special. It's totally fine.
So she drowned in whiskey.
A lake named Whiskey.
That makes so much more sense.
I mean, I'd be concerned about an 8-year-old. I mean, I don't judge, but if you have an 8-year-old drowning in whiskey, I am a little concerned about the parenting skills, but it still doesn't matter because the girl is still dead. Anyway, continue.
It is medicinal.
No, Guinness is what I heard is medicinal, not pure whiskey.
It is
Hey.
vodka.
hey, if we're checking out this body, she'll say it like over her shoulder without looking. Is there a way to tell? I mean, what does it look like when someone drowns? You know, like because she didn't give a name. We have an anonymous girl here.
You think someone was riding a dead body? That is what I'm thinking.
I don't.
I mean, we're all thinking it, right?
I really hate that I'm thinking it because up until now I was just making.
So if you wanted to see if there was any
No.
residual signs of aether being used on her magic, you could use the site. Just as a reminder, and for May, when you use the site, you have 2 options. You can peek, which is free, and it's basically yes or no. You could look. You say, I just want to look at this. Is there aether present? Yes, no. If you get a yes, you can then peer, which involves making a test, and then that test will give you more information if you're successful. But it does cost you a point of courage. No reason you don't get any kind of resistance to that if you do that, because you're opening yourself up to the other world.
Okay.
May I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Examine body, do thing. First, I'd like to do my free check for rituals.
No, there's no ritual. Well, I take that back. You do get a sense that a ritual it was performed either on her or in her presence or something. You're having a hard time pinpointing exactly where it is, but you feel it. You feel the presence of something ritualistic on her person.
I think we should examine this body in details. I think that there may be evidence that this body may have been dead longer than it would be expected by a body that just died in our arms this evening.
Well, if someone wants to use medicine to do that, I mean that would be an actual test.
I will happily do the medicines on the body.
Okay. So, what is your medicine score at this point?
2.
2. Okay, so you get to draw 2 cards, but if you want, remember that you can spend a point of you can spend grit if you wish to draw additional cards. But you have to say that before you draw.
You know what? I'm gonna play it reckless and loose. I will draw a grit. Use a grit to draw.
Okay, so you spend 1 grit, so mark 1 off.
9. Okay. So
and so you get to draw 3 cards.
2, 3. I don't know what.
Yay!
Okay, so this is using medicine goes under Numa. Your Numa is 5. And it's diamonds, but you got 1 success, which is the 2.
Okay.
1 success is enough to know that she just recently died. You don't think it's an old corpse or anything like that was animated. She's showing all signs. I mean, she's cooling. There's no signs of decay or anything like that. She definitely seems like she had been alive until moments ago. Another thing with that, you note her multicolored eyes, and you would know that having 2 different colored eyes is known as heterochromia or heterochromia iridium. In most cases, it's believed to be hereditary, entirely benign and not connected to any pathology, although the condition can cause disease, can be caused by disease or injury.
Okay.
And on top of that, well, I don't know. I don't know if that's anything you want to mention to anyone. Or
I will bring up that bit of info. Am I able to discern about? I can't remember if you said it, but how old she might be?
She's in her early 20s, somewhere
so she's
between
older.
22 to 25.
Okay. Cool.
When we have finished examining the body, thank you very much, Marwa. I would like to have conversation with the spirit what has left.
Okay.
Please circle around. We must all connect and hold hands.
Sorry, I've
Now-
got some grease on mine.
This is something I have not, we haven't dealt with before, but just to be clear, using magic outside of an Atheros is actually a little more difficult. In this case, I'm just going to say that it's going to, because there's no, you don't have the Aether present in the same way.
Gotcha.
That's why ghosts and such don't generally exist outside of an Atheros. There are some things that can do that, but in general, it's much harder to perform magic outside of an Atheros. But in this case, I'm just going to say the difficulty is going to be increased by 1 for your.
Very well. This body is only dead for 1 week or less.
Yes. Much less.
So maybe that helps.
Yep, that's why I'm only making it one more. Yeah.
Okay, so my question is, what cards do I pull?
Use ritual for that. Again, if anyone else has ritual, they can assist. They wouldn't be able to do the ritual on their own, but they could assist you.
So that is 4 cards.
And it's 4 cards.
I've got to say, I've got a pip in it. I don't mind assisting.
Okay.
Well, we're all holding hands.
Yeah. That's kind of where I was coming from with assisting on that. So
okay.
I should probably pull a card.
So it looks like you need 2 successes as a base, and anything beyond that is going to give you it will give you extra questions. So actually, no. This is diamonds. Those are all successes.
Oh, I wasn't even looking, and I get an extra one. So
yeah.
1, 2,
so you
3, 4, 5.
Ian, can you remind me, for assisting, we draw a card too, right?
You just draw a card, but you can only contribute 1, but you only have 1. So
yeah.
I don't think that's a success.
No.
The gesture.
Are you trying to steal cards?
I didn't mean to. I don't know. There's a button. I'm trying to click to say I'm using it.
She's like,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, sorry. That was me this time. Oh, nope.
That was me. I didn't know what to do. Stop clicking buttons, Mab.
So you have 5 successes. It depends how many questions you're going to want to ask. You can ask 3 or take a fortune token and have 2 questions.
Oh.
Because
I will take a fortune token because everything I do uses fortune.
Okay.
And that would help me break even.
Oh yeah, we'll just call it. Yeah, you don't even have to put your token. I'll just give it to me.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out how to get my token in there. So
you just click on the thing above your name, the one above you, and then you should just be able to drag the token out. I think you were clicking somebody else.
I was clicking May's token thing.
Yeah.
My bad.
So I get an additional fortune, or doom, and you've performed your ritual. You have 2 questions. So all of you gather around, light some candles, dim the gas lights, and
Marvo. We all hold hands and chant. Speak to me. Come to me. Speak to me. Come to me. Okay.
slowly an image of her rise up from her body. A sort of translucent version of her sort of sits up.
Yes. And they are yes or no questions, which I didn't process, and now I have to reframe all the questions I wanted to know. Like, hey guys, if you've got questions, shout them out, and I will repeat them.
How about is she related to the girl that has died?
Yes, that was. Are you related to the girl what has died in the river?
And she's trying to answer, but it seems as though it's causing her spirit pain, which you've never seen before.
Never seen.
Something is preventing her from talking, but eventually she's no.
I command the dead in this house, not some other entity. Whoever is binding you, their hold on you is released while you are here.
She kind of points at her back down by her ankles, at the hem of her dress.
Is the answer in the body?
While you're doing that, I'm going to just move closer and I'm going to kick her skirt up.
There's nothing underneath.
So gracious.
But she's sort of pointing towards the sort of the edge, the hem of it.
Heck the hem. That's where we keep our gold.
Oh, is that what you do? Okay. So it's going to hurt that if I break the circle.
No, it'll be fine. It's just for show.
So I'm just gonna let go. And I was like, I don't know how you do this. I don't know. Here it's incense at home and it's fine. So like she just starts checking the hem of the skirts then she's like, whatever.
There's something sewn into the hem of her skirt. Something inside of it. It's a bit small, but
fine. I'm assuming it is a decently made garment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it looks like it was slit and then resewn.
I'm just gonna rip the seam and pull out the thing that's there.
It looks like a little sachet, which is tied up with some thread.
Okay, I'm going.
You see her relax significantly as soon as you pull it off of her.
Could I if it's no harm to break the circle, could I step away to like do maybe the sight materia on that satchel?
Sure. You don't even have to step away. You could do it while sitting there.
Okay.
You can peek at it.
I mean,
Yes. The answer is yes. There is aether connected to that section.
Okay.
And you see, look, almost like a little thread coming from it to her, which is in the process of fraying as Marwa, takes it out of the dress.
There's something connecting that to her, and it is falling apart. Is it fraying as she's pulling it away?
Mm-hmm.
I would stay right there.
Can I open it?
Sure.
Is it safe for me to open? You people peeking?
Well, I don't know.
I'm asking them.
Okay.
If she's saying that she's being prevented, I don't know if the tether is preventing her or if
preventing her from speaking the truth.
Wait for you to finish questions and then I'll open the sachet.
Yes,
you have one more question. You have one more question.
We have one more question. Help me think of questions.
But she seems a lot more relaxed now. And
I was going to say the only thing Luna's contributing is that she is seeing a tether between this satchel to the hem of this girl's dress.
God, there were so many questions. What about totally in voice, but I'm thinking, so it's coming out like Southern. And y'all, please tell me no if y'all think of a better one. What about did you? Well, no, because she'd have been dead. So how would she know? So never mind.
She's dead now. I want her to tell me her name. Do you live? My question. I'm thinking about something along the lines of if she is from Whiskey Springs, but not officially asking that. So.
I mean, we this is like out of character. We could ask her.
You can have a little out of character discussion.
Yeah, is she from Whiskey Springs? Did she happen to
the name of the person? The name of the paper was Carrie Jansen. If that helps.
That's the child. But I already
and
went.
that was the first question. Are you related to this child? And then she said she did get
She
out.
said no, but she couldn't.
Very painfully, but she got it out.
Like, I want to know what her connection is.
Yeah.
I want to know her name. I want to know her name.
But
Yes, I know.
I want to know who
she's
did
from
this to her.
whiskey. Oh, what
that
about
would be nice, wouldn't it?
I mean, but could you? Oh, dang! We only get 2 questions, and they're only yes and no, so it wouldn't even matter if you
only
asked her.
get one
Did you
more
see?
question.
I mean, yeah.
If you want to spend fortune, like if you ask the second one and you want a third one, you could spend fortune for an additional one.
We've also got the name Jesse. We've also got the name Jesse Watron in the article too. This isn't Luna. This is just player to player. We've got another name in the article.
Yeah. Here's my.
And if it's yes or no.
I mean, we'll be taking a chance at asking if she's related to.
Yeah.
But like the thing is, I mean, it was. Well, I'm like rereading it.
Jesse's a pastor, so he's a boy.
Well, no, he's a boy, but he's a name too.
But I could ask if he's good guy or bad guy. How about that?
Is Pastor Jesse? I mean, but do we even know she's from that area? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What if she's just a body that just was going along for a ride? Like they just found, you know what I'm saying?
If we have to, I would say if we had a question that would center around the pastor, it would be, can we trust the pastor?
There you go. Can we trust Pastor Jesse Wharton?
Yeah, because if we're going to go somewhere we don't know,
I would ask.
Having someone we can trust would be great. But
yeah. But that requires
that's something I can think of for that. And otherwise, I don't know, guys.
It's a shot in the dark.
Another question, it would be, do you know who cursed you? And then we would try to figure it out.
That was my other thing too, because we could ask, did you know who did this to you? But we still would be in the dark because
I mean, I can definitely know that.
I could burn that fortune for one more answer.
Yeah, and I will say anyone involved, anyone who's holding hands in the ritual, can spend the fortune as well. Spend their own fortune.
So hear me out. Here's how we can cut our losses. Essentially, what if we ask? He is related to the pastor. If he says yes, we can ask the pastor who did this to you. And if she says yes, we already know the answer. Is he a decent guy? Because maybe he's trying to find out who killed the little girl. It's questionable.
No, I like the phrasing of it. If we can trust this pastor, that takes care of a whole world of troubles.
Yeah.
That one,
and if we cannot trust him, then we will ask another question of if he did.
Well, how about this? What if we ask first if she's even from Whiskey Springs? Because how would she know if she's not from there? So
that's how we will get the answer from that one question. Yeah, we'll get that answer from, can we trust him?
Except for, I will say spirits can know things that they wouldn't know in life. Like, as a spirit, she might be able to tell if you can trust, even if she didn't know him.
Like how we can ads. Sorry.
I think we should ask if we can trust him, and then we'll go from there.
Player aspect, a spirit in this game would know something that they probably wouldn't have known when they were alive, right?
They can,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I need to know. All right, because I'm thinking like if she was dead, know if she wasn't from there, like she never interacted with. Okay, never mind. All right, cool.
Okay, second question: can we trust the pastor Jesse Wharton?
She sort of leans forward and back, and almost it looks like as though maybe her eyes roll up in her head, the spirit form of her head. Yes.
He will be good guy. He can be a person we can trust.
And she starts to fade away unless you're spending a fortune.
Oh no! I don't think I have a fortune
Everybody does.
Oh no, we start with one, right?
Yeah, you start with
I
one.
have a fortune. I will spend the fortune.
I was gonna say I'll spend one to catch her elbow again spiritually.
Just strong arm her real quick.
Honestly, I'm gonna allow it because I like the symmetry.
Yeah, that's
I'll
nice.
do
So
it. I know, like this is hitting really close to home for Luna.
so pop your fortune onto the table.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. Hold on.
Click on the token, and then it
Oh,
opens
wait.
a box, and then you can drag it out.
Click on the token. Here we go. Up. Okay, or don't. That's fine. Or okay. There we go. There we go.
Yay,
Okay.
there we go. You know what? I'm gonna be nice because I love that image. I'm not gonna make it into a Doom token. I'm just gonna put it back in the pool
Yeah. No, I think it would be
because that was
I think
just
it would
cool.
be-
That
yeah.
you're hooking her arm again.
Yeah, I think it would
Everybody
be like I think it's a really good juxtaposition, like between like her violent meeting with the spirit in the previous game and this one where it's just like, please stay.
So you spend a fortune, and no, stay, and she
You
still
are
looks
welcome
at
here.
you.
You are safe. We give you comfort. What was your question?
What is your question?
Crap.
I mean, that was very heavy. The other thing I wanted to know is if she knew who hexed her. But then we would need more information.
Yeah,
yes or no, then
No, you keep spending fortune.
To me, well, if it's yes or no, it'll be wasted because we're not going to get an answer of who did it to her. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we could. Well, it was a physical item. I mean, we could take one for the team and see if was it the pastor that hexed you to bring the paper? You know what I'm saying?
Well, if he hexed her, then he is not one to be trusted.
Is it hex though? If he's trying to get the news out there looking for help, if he thinks something sus is going on,
something was keeping her. That's what that hex.
Oh, that's
was.
true. That's true. That's true.
We could ask her if she drowned.
She died from blood.
Blood stuff, not drown.
Oh yeah, if she was spitting up blood, then yeah.
She died from this hex.
As far as Mara could tell, it looked like, I mean, without cutting her open and doing an autopsy, you think something hemorrhaged, basically. And
yeah, okay, yeah.
It was a rather dramatic hemorrhage, though.
I'm thinking.
The player, not the Luna, the player feels like this is like she was bound to someone.
Yeah.
And she went outside of that boundary.
Oh yeah.
Speak nothing of these issues.
Oh, you cut it open, Mara. You cut it open. Inside is a little. Well, you have medicine, so you've done enough. Cutting open little animals and such. It looks like a little desiccated, maybe rat's tongue, some small rodent, and there's a silver needle through the tongue.
That's
and
exactly
as well as some other herbs and such in there.
Okay, so what about
you see this?
I'm gonna make a stretch. Only because of her research. She is from Egypt because that's a very mystical place, which the Nola in me knows what this is, but like the Egyptian chick is like, is this, would she know what kind of thing this is because she's more into metaphysical / alchemy? Like,
I would say, but I'm not going to require some tests. I'm just going to give you guys some stuff here. Between Marvo and you would know that between the ritual skill and mysteries would be the other skill you would use for that. It does something. The needle through the tongue would probably be keeping someone from saying something, preventing them from talking, exactly as you were saying. And I'm also going to say, when you're sort of thinking about that, Marvo would probably recall that having two different colored eyes is the legend has it that someone who has two different colored eyes is often a witch.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what about you come here knowing what could happen to you to help figure out what happened to this little girl?
Yes, I can tell you that. The answer was yes. This person knew what was going to happen to them.
Look,
Okay.
look.
You've got one more question.
No, I like this
love it.
witch angle. I like this asking if she is a witch or not. Is she the only witch in town?
Ooh, yeah.
What are you asking?
She's the baddest witch.
How are you wording this again? Sorry.
Were you the only witch in town?
There you go. Because that means she would have to acknowledge that she was a witch.
She's kind of confused. She looks at it looks kind of confused and.
Apologies for my presumptions. With your eyes, I thought you knew it meant that you had the gift.
No.
You're not the only witch in town.
But you get the impression that she didn't really. She might not be a witch, but she's saying no.
There might actually be a witch in town.
Well, there's totally a witch in town. I don't even know why I burned the question on that because a witch did this to her.
So, unless someone's spending more fortune, she begins to fade again.
I allow you to take your rest. I thank you for your generous time we have spent together.
And with as the last wisps of her begin to fade away, see she points again. This time towards her purse.
I nod
and then
graciously give.
She's gone, and all the candles go out, and you're in a room of darkness
with a dead body.
With a dead body.
Well, yeah. Why I'm desensitized to dead body? I would like to go into her purse.
Okay. I assume you light some candles again.
I assume our housekeeper does this.
Okay. He can do that.
Yes, Mom.
Yes. We do have
my social class is middle upper class, so I'm not lighting anything.
Exactly.
You find in her purse a really old looking, sort of almost crumbling piece of paper, a bit of newspaper clipping again. Which I've just put up.
Clippy. Boop. Oh, prisoner escapes. This would have been helpful. We should have gone through her purse before we started asking questions.
Note the date.
1788. That's a year before.
No, that's
100 years.
Yeah.
A century. A century. According to Constable Wallace, did I make vegan? Yes. According to Constable Wallace, widow Mercy Matson escaped from lockup. Mercy Matson was in lockup. Comfortable. Refused to go on record as the comfortable or the constable refused
Constable.
to go.
Well, yeah. Sorry, that was supposed to be a weird S. Yes. Constable.
William Jensen. This is a name I have heard before. Interesting. Okay, we have some intrigue here. Charity Matson, age 12, was found on November 4th near the stacks with a broken neck. I believe she fell climbing the rocks.
Yeah.
And little Fidelity, age 8, mysteriously drowned.
There's a lot of dead kids.
Yeah.
A lot.
But this is
and the husband, Thomas Holtstetter, whatever, you crazy names, died while being crushed by cow. That sounds a little questionable.
It's actually was not an uncommon cause of death in that period.
I'm not judging. I am not. You know, you do you, okay?
I'm not here to judge just to praise.
Getting
them.
crushed by a cow, if you were, a cattle herder or whatnot, is something that happened.
Take it from my experience, May's experience living on a cattle farm. Real talk, if you go cow tipping, you could possibly mess yourself up big time.
That's why my brother Mickey and my brother Colin only ever went goat tipping. Then you better. I still got lots of injuries though, but when the goat landed on them, it didn't do much other than anger the goat.
Yeah, goats are certainly sons of bitches. I assure you.
I'm going to give this a quick read just so folks who are watching can know what's going on too. This is Whiskey Springs Chronicle 1788, year of our Lord, November 8th, 1788. Prisoner escapes. According to the Constable Wallace, the widow Mercy Matson escaped from lockup this evening. She's believed to still be at large, and any sighting should be reported immediately. The constable refused to go on record as to why Mercy was being held. This past August, this reporter witnessed an altercation between widow Matson and William Jansen. Mr. Jansen appeared to be aggravated that Mrs. Matson would not sell the remainder of her property. Little Fidelity, age 8, mysteriously drowned that past November. Charity Matson, age 12, was found on the 4th of November near the stacks with a broken neck. It is believed she fell while climbing the rocks. Some of you readers might recall that Mrs. Matson was married to the late Thomas Hostler, who died while he was crushed when he was crushed by a cow. Mrs. Matson also had 2 beautiful daughters and a son. The daughters recently met an untimely end, which were referred to previously. The whereabouts of the son, Peter, age 14, is currently unknown. Mercy reverted to her family name after her husband's untimely death, an event which led to no small amount of scandal. This reporter has learned one final tidbit that may or may not have to do with this mystery. An unnamed source uncovered information that Mercy Matson is a descendant of the Margaret Matson, the first woman accused of witchcraft in the Keystone State. At the time, witchcraft was not a crime, but the verdict by William Penn was guilty of having common game of a witch, but not guilty in manner and form as she stands indicted. In other words, yes, she's a witch, but there was no actual law at that point against being a witch. So she was released. Since then, you would know that there are laws against witchcraft in Pennsylvania. It came about partly because of that. Then there's another article, it's Lights on the Mountain. Several residents of Whiskey Springs reported seeing what appeared to be a bonfire and strange lights on the steeple atop the mountain across the lake last night. Constable Wallace reports that the incident has been investigated and there were signs of a fire, but no witness of evidence or evidence of who or what caused it. Several vagabonds have been spotted recently hereabouts, and he believes they may have been the cause.
Yeah, a lot of accidents, not a lot of murders. Very nice.
Okay, so I'm doing some math here. November 1st, death number 1. November 4th, death number 2. November 7th?
Yeah, it would be the 7th, yeah.
The fire.
It's every 3 days. Sorry.
That's a reasonable.
Right.
1 week. Because
But it's like a death
week.
every day, 3 days. That's a terrible week.
there is 1 week. So what is today's date?
I was to say, what's today?
November 8th, 1888.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
so that bonfire must have been last night.
No, that was 100 years ago.
That was 100 years ago. So
If it was an anniversary. And what date did the child die? Drown? This
The current drowned one or the old drowned one?
the one that we got
1888.
November 8th, like 18.
Yesterday.
Wait.
She drowned on the 7th. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
we got 3 more days, possibly.
but who's? She'll kind of look at the body.
Trouslek, should I clean
have
this
3 more
up?
days? Who has
Yes.
3 more days?
Please, pretty please.
All right.
Of
And
course.
he goes and gets some towels and such and begins, and what should I do with the corpse?
In old times in my country, what we did was we made a funeral pyre, and then that was after they
Do we not
mummified.
normally sell to the medical students? I thought that.
Oh, there is that. But hear me out. I want to always practice. I've been studying the ways of mummification of my old people, and I would love to know if I could possibly use that. I have some wonderful canopic jars that I actually uncovered, and I would love to see how this process actually works.
So keep the body,
Yeah, I'll be back.
put her on ice. All right.
Enthusiasm.
He basically takes some sheets, wraps her up, takes her down to
the.
the basement, puts her in cold storage, and begins. I'm afraid we might have to replace the carpet. Is that all right?
That is
He's
fine.
unfortunate.
He
I
begins
will miss
rolling up the carpet. He puts that out back and then begins
hold on.
mopping the floor.
Yeah, she'll
carpet.
kind of step off the edge of the carpet.
All right.
So I assume we are taking trip to Whiskey Springs, which is in Pennsylvania. It's not too far.
Mm-mm.
Anyone actually travel there for a holiday, or is it, you know what? Never mind. All right.
We do have the carriage. We did drive crazy times last time, but
Yeah. And if you keep things like train schedules on hand too. Go ahead. What was that, Mary Mac?
I was just gonna say, if you're taking the horses and driving,
All right. You can take the horses and drive. There is also a train that leaves early tomorrow morning and gets there before noon.
oh,
Is there a private car?
There is not a car. Oh, private car in the train, on the train.
I mean, it's not 1925. Like, it's fine.
If you spent enough, you could probably get a private car.
What is enough? Do I have enough money for this?
You lost your raven, so probably not. What is?
I had a raven?
No,
wait, I had a...
the Cabal raven. Ravens deal. Ravens tend to be wealthy.
Porcelain is gone.
Assets is what you're looking on the second page.
Asset.
Yeah, I don't think any of you were really probably wealthy enough to easily rent out a.
Never. What if we went in quarterly, not halfsies?
Question for the DM real quick.
Yeah.
Could I possibly have friends in high places and or low places, and maybe do a jumping on the train situation here if we have enough time? Because I think it's like an 8-hour situation.
So what
friends in low places, excuse me.
What do you want them to do?
Well, this is kind of what I'm thinking is for friends in low places, if there's a chance of running the rails and jumping on.
Well, you could always do that if you wanted to.
do you not see me? I'm right here. I cannot do this.
Getting a rocket, it is a passenger train
It's passenger
that goes
train.
up there. I mean, you can buy tickets.
How would I
on
get
a
my
passenger
luggage?
train.
Well, okay. I didn't know if there was an issue with buying tickets, because if there is an issue with buying tickets, even service that's on a passenger train.
But we also have our own carriage.
That's true.
So
I mean,
But it is pouring down rain out there tonight, and Whiskey Springs is up in the mountains. That is going to be a difficult ride.
I'll say this: if I can do a Friends in Low Places, which I believe takes about 8 hours.
It depends, but yeah,
Or it depends,
or never more than 8 hours.
Yeah, if I can do a Friends in Low Places and at least get us on there as like the let me serve you this drink in this passenger car, let me punch your ticket. I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of for that.
you're saying I need to go incognito? like this guy.
I'm trying to figure out what it is that you want. What is your end goal? What is?
If there's an issue with getting onto the train by usual means of a ticket.
No, you could just buy a ticket.
No issue.
Well, then okay, yeah. I was gonna say I was a little confused because I was like, can we just buy a ticket? Because if we can, I mean, I know a guy. So the kind of situation. But if we can just get on the train.
Yes, we all have money to get a regular ticket.
Yeah, that's not buying a ticket's not an issue.
So.
Renting out an entire
car.
car is
private
is
car
harder
was the
issue.
thing. Oh my God, you guys are killing me.
What? No, I think we deserve a private car, but that's okay. I mean, I have.
If you had Kate here, you could probably do that.
What with
Sorry,
what's with the seven?
total wire crossing. I thought there was an issue with getting tickets, and if there was,
Now-
then maybe it would be like, I know a guy, throw a tie on, we could just sneak on. But never mind.
Nope. Just yeah, and honestly, you wouldn't get there much faster taking the carriage, and it would be a lot riskier. You'd probably get there a few hours earlier in the morning, as opposed to like 11:30. But
We are not super rushed.
and you wouldn't get any sleep either. So
No, I like this idea. We deserve sleep tonight. We catch train in the morning.
Okay.
Get well rested. I get to pack
Yeah.
suitcases.
Are we
Alright.
packing light, or should I bring my normal like 6 to 7 with tools and clothing and No, Luna's face is telling me no.
Oh no,
I think you should bring
Luna's
what you
face
think
is
you
telling
want.
you like, okay.
Bring what you think you need. I need this outfit and this outfit and this outfit. And I got to do something with my hair.
So-
Luna literally has a sack in a chair by the fire. And that's about it.
okay. Anybody else bring anything? I mean, we'll just assume you have basic gear, unless there's something weird you want to bring.
I'm just gonna bring
I have a clean neckerchief, and I've got 14 different toolboxes.
Okay.
I can wash myself in the river.
They're nesting egg toolboxes. You
Oh
open
my
one,
God.
there's another.
I'm just gonna bring my sword cane that she walks with.
Sure.
May or may not have throwing knives strapped to her body at all times. And we'll stick with the alchemy kit, the tool kit, and the questionable bottle of laudanum.
Okay.
And whatever. Well, so for the alchemy stuff, I possibly make that as needed with my kit, right? The potions.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're just assumed to have stuff. It's not
Okay.
So you catch in the morning, early morning. You catch the northbound train at Evergreen Station. on
If we
North
sleep
Avenue.
in our spot, do we get courage or whatever back?
Oh yeah. You courage. Yes, I'm just because you're staying at home. Yeah, let's just say you all recover your courage.
Because it was some
You're
people
not
took
in
damage.
Theros or anything, so you can get a good night's rest. That's the other good thing about staying here as opposed to you'd recover enough courage. You would definitely recover all of your courage. So you're fully restored courage wise. You wake up fresh, ready to go. Mr. Krause seems still a little concerned about the body in the basement, but he'll make sure it stays iced. He's gonna have to go buy some more ice. But it wishes you luck, and he has the horse and carriage ready and takes you to the station. Northbound, you go northbound to Gettysburg, and then there you transfer to the Gettysburg and Harrisburg line, which stops to get to Whiskey Springs. You transfer at Hunter's Run. When you get to Hunter's Run, you notice the train kind of fills up. Lots of people get on board. It seemed like a lot of families and such that seem very excited. And just seeing you hear them talking about the farmers fair and this sort of thing. A lot of them seem to be going to this farmers fair. That was mentioned.
I think we're going to this. Yes, very, very delightful farmers fair. Are you all ready for farmers fair?
I do not farm.
Yes, well, that's what they have food and like little
Oh.
cake competitions and
Okay,
little
so
pie
I can eat.
competitions. And they show off their best goats. And they have like sculptures made of butter. Like the
Mhm.
whole thing is made of butter. But do not eat it.
I was gonna say Hamish would love it.
Oh, aye. But don't get them started on eating butter. That's a whole kit and caboodle I'm not ready to get into. Yeah. They sort of smeared it on the bottom of their shoes too, and they thought that they could ice skate through the house in the summer, but all that ended up happening was just a lot of banging and breaking and
I
it's
bet
all
the
right. You're
sheep
fine.
loved the butter. The trails left by the butter ice skating. I like this.
So from Hunter's Run, the train goes up into the mountains, and as the morning progresses, actually, unlike yesterday, it becomes a much nicer day. But as you get up into the mountains, it gets a little bit misty and foggy outside, still clinging to the trees around you. And then you sort of come down into a mountain valley. You pass through a small town, which is next to this beautiful crystal lake. You see the mountain beyond it rising up. And at the top of the mountain, you see this structure of rock, stone, just rising up out of the top of the mountain that looks remarkably like a church steeple. Not quite as pointy, but it's almost straight up and then to a bit of a point at the top of the mountain across the lake. And you go through the town, you see like a tavern, you see a church, you see booths and such being set up in this common area, and it looks like the farmers fair is already underway. People selling things, games. You smell all kinds of foods as you pass by. And the train goes down a little further. It goes through sort of almost a dark tunnel of trees, about maybe like less than a quarter of a mile, and then comes to a stop at a station. Here, the smell outside changes incredibly. You're smelling coal smoke and the smell of iron and burning wood and such. And there are more buildings here, but these look like company buildings. And you see what looks like maybe an iron forge nearby as well. And people begin getting off the train and milling about, and they sort of, there's a road that goes back along the railroad tracks, and most of them start heading that way. Down, back towards where the farmers fair was taking place. A few of them sort of wander on down towards the iron forge and such. And there's a general store here as well if you go into there. And the town hall is here as well.
Ian, if it is fitting, I would really like to maybe do a streetwise check and just see if I can hear what people are talking about, or even if there's like some kid kind of toes in walking next to me and drooling excited, just be like, what are you looking forward to? Like just kind of
you could have been doing on the train about? Even just walk through the train
or bit. Even the train go
ahead and give me a streetwise test. Go ahead, let's do it.
All right, let's see. So if I got the 4 pips, that's 4 cards, right?
Yeah, 4 cards.
All right, let's
do it up.
Nice.
All right, let's do it. Boom. 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 And boom. Let me go back in here.
So you're doing streetwise, which is Cardia.
Yeah.
So any heart is a success.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the ace is 1, so that actually counts as and that's an 8 of hearts. So that's a double success.
Nice.
Your Cardia is 6, so that is also a success. I am going to go ahead. You don't need that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. You do not need 5 successes to learn pretty much anything you would want to do. No, right. So I'm going to give you a fortune. And you hear, I mean, basically listening to the families, most of them are talking about the fair. They're talking about the different events, going on at the fair, what they're looking forward to, what games they're looking forward to playing. It seems you learn very quickly that this thing is a big event. Like this is a small mountain town. That's industry is primarily mining and iron forging, iron smelting rather. But once a year, people come from all over. They come from they come from Philadelphia, they come from Harrisburg, they come from Baltimore, all over to come to this fair, which lasts over the course of the week. It basically goes from today through Tuesday through Saturday, a few of them mention apparently have heard about the murder and are concerned about that, but or not the murder. Sorry, I said murder. The drowning.
What? It was a murder?
No, it's not a murder. Not a murder. Not a murder. Not a murder.
Oh no, there's been another accident.
The accidental drowning of the young girl. So there's parents like a few of them are warning their kids to stay away from the lake,
right.
And things like that. And so word of that spreads, so you hear a lot of people and I will say, in fact, it probably gets handed down so much through the train cars and everything. It eventually becomes a murder, rather than just a drowning because of people telling stories back and forth.
Yep. Is there anything? Oh, sorry.
Oh, and I was there is talk of the special service because you all mentioned that earlier, and apparently that's every year because it's just the daytime mass in the middle of the week, which isn't typical. But he does it for visitors, for people who are there visiting and maybe aren't going to be able to make it home for Sunday or whatever. It's sort of a PR stunt to show off their church is the impression you get.
So
to get people to come in and away from the debauchery of the farmers fair.
That honestly answers my question of if there's something in particular that's sticking out, if the special service is the thing that's sticking out.
As far as you can tell, it's benign. It's just basically a PR thing that he does to and to try to keep the flock from overindulging too much out there in the fair, because that does happen.
Okay.
I have thoughts I would like to share.
Sure.
I was going to say, Luna would
we get off.
circle back to the Goyles, and just just kind of relay that back that everyone's excited about the affair, the events, the games. Apparently, the special service is a thing, but she would just be like, I don't know, it just kind of seems like some sort of. I don't know, just kind of seems like a way to get some attention, more so from everyone else rather than the big guy, as it were.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a good PR move. I get that. Some of my insights that I perceived. Coming in, the rock formation struck me. Is very like a temple. And there seems to be certain religious undertones to everything. It's possible we may be dealing with local deities, demi-deities, just as a perspective. Other things, I think the distinguishing eye features of the woman who has yet no name will allow us to spark conversations with people, and we can gauge their reactions.
If you want to bring up the lake, you'll have some parents clutching their pearls about it. I'll tell you what.
Yes, I did hear someone say it was a murder. I was very amused by that because the article said accident. So they are already speculating. The other thing I would like to bring forth is I would very much like to talk to this priest because he was identified as someone we can trust.
Yeah.
And I think if we bring conversations to him, ask about the dual colored eyes, that might be our starting point. Any other thoughts?
are you trying to get this information? Your clarification. You're trying to get this information once we get there. You're not asking the people on the train.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk to the priest until we are in the city that the priest
But
is
I'm
in.
saying about because I have an idea, because we have a game that we would play. Because if nobody likes a good farmer's fest like I do, and we had this country game. They probably have something very similar, where you sort of everybody clap your hands, and then everybody does this stands up, and then they sing the next verse. So we could say something like, "Oh, anybody who has 2 different colored eyes stands up," and then there's this. So we can sort of see anybody on the train who might know something, or "Oh, if you've ever kissed a goat on the mouth, stand up," and it'll probably just be me, but we can get people into it like that. I don't know, it's an idea. We'll backtrack. We'll go back to that later.
Well, anytime you've said you've loved kids, that's been a whole. I misinterpreted that. Sorry.
There's layers to that.
Layers.
All right then.
Marwa, is there anything that you would like to focus upon on our arrival or before our arrival? This is a long ass train ride.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like the idea of getting to know people on the train with a game. Yeah.
You know what? I probably too will chat with people. I'm going to find my accent endearing, and I would interview people.
Okay.
And be like, "Are you from here?" Yes. Try and gain their trust, even though I am not very social.
The people on the train.
I would do it for the people on the train.
Okay.
And once we get there, though, I would still like to make my way around and just.
Is there anything in particular that you're attempting to learn with interview? Otherwise, I'm just gonna say you make some friends. You make some.
What? Is there anyone when we get there? Is there anybody in town that's possibly known to also be a scholar or a book nerd? Because she does have reputation as a well-known and respected scholar. So if she can get in with the nerds like me to see if there's any history on this area and this city and this town that might be a little less.
Give me an interview test.
I was gonna say, the only thing I would say just as a player, just shooting the shit, I feel like the closest we would get is the priest in a small town.
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
And let's take a look at you real quick. So you're doing
so
you said
cardio.
Interview, you got 2. You need a 4 or less or heart. Oh. You got a heart.
Okay.
Yay!
Yeah, I was gonna say you got a heart though.
I got a heart.
So you're asking and trying to find out about book learned people. The thing you come across really quick is that it's a mining town primarily, and farming. That it's sort of on this end where the train you go through the town, and here there's a quarry down the hill further, and then there is the iron smelting. In fact, when you pull up, you see there's big things of coal, and there's pallets of iron ingots, and they load on the train then to take the ingots back in the civilization. The person who comes up the most, Luna hit on it, is probably the priest, the local pastor. He's known, if you're sort of asking around about that sort of thing, he is known to have an interest in poetry and such, and apparently occasionally writes his own, which he uses in his sermons, which some of the people find entertaining.
There was a man from Nantucket.
No, that's a type of poetry.
We're here for the casseroles and nothing else, Pastor.
The only other person of learning there would probably be the doctor, who you'd find. The doctor's office is actually located here, right next near where the train is, because most of the injuries come from the mines and the smelting. The doctor's known to be to partake of the sauce a little too much, and he sort of goes back and forth between his whiskey and his Coca-Cola. And other such stimulants.
You said it right. Back in the day, it had Coca Plant in it. So
yes, it did. I mean, stuff had a lot of different things in it, including a lot of them. Opium sometimes, all kinds of stuff.
Whatever was laying around.
I'm glad you said that. So, I feel like this water is going to come up real useful soon.
Yeah, the doctor is Dr. Morris Stevens.
I'm going for the doctor's office. I'm literally just gonna call and drive her stuff with her.
Okay, so you're just getting off train, going to the doctor's office. Are the rest of you going with her, or are you?
I'll say from my experience on the last one, I would follow her if we're gonna split the party.
Let's stick together. Don't go up, because last time we've had the injury. Last time we stay together. It's cool.
It's fine. I don't care. And she just keeps walking, like she's just walking. She's like,
I
don't care.
I'm gonna go with her.
Yes, we go together.
So
you're
going to
carry my bags.
Things do not smell particularly well here. The air is thick with smoke. Just lies heavily over the tracks, and even throughout the buildings. It's almost like there's a fog hanging over this area of town. The scent of burnt wood in not a good way, and coal and mule manure and such mingles in the air. When you, like I said, the crowd disperses fairly quickly. You sort of head over to where the doctor's office is, which is adjacent to the ice house. And it feels very empty. You just get this forlorn sense of almost loneliness here. But the town itself seems almost empty. Lots of stuff going on behind you. But you go up to the doctor's office. You rap on the door. A tall, frail-looking man with round spectacles and sort of a wisp of white hair wrapping around his head, wearing a suit that reminds you more of an undertaker than a doctor. The thin tie. Hello.
Hi. Are you the good doctor?
Yes. Are you injured?
No, but I heard you are a learned person in this town. I am Miss Alum, Mara Alum.
Yes. Well, a pleasure. Oh, yes. I think where didn't you write that? What was it on?
It's on the Egyptian mummification process. Yes.
Yes, that was fascinating. Most fascinating. Well, please, are these young women with you?
Are my compatriots. If you don't mind, would you be up for a drink and perhaps some conversation? I'm new to this town and I'm quite over it already, to be honest.
Well, the tavern's quite far away, but I might have a bottle of something inside if you wish to come in. Sure.
I'll be like, thank you when she starts walking.
Basically a reception area almost. There's a few chairs along the walls. There's a desk and that.
Yes, I would like to peek before we go in.
You see nothing special about him. However, you are within an Atheros.
That is what I wanted to confirm.
Yes, you're absolutely within an Atheros. You feel that it is a fairly large area. It's kind of hard to, at least everything you can see around you is part of an Atheros.
Even that mountaintop?
You can't see the mountaintop from here. The trees are in the way. Once you over the town.
Ian Locus's
That's area place.
The area that we're in. Can I do a little peek as well with my one locus?
You don't. A peek is just yes or no. If you want to peer and actually learn something, you can make a test.
I think if the ladies go by me and just in my continuing study of how this whole system works for all the folks at home, I will do that.
Okay.
Even though I'm probably going to regret the hell out of it.
So, what is your locus? Is only one though?
I have like one pip in it. Yeah.
Okay. So, do you want to spend any grit?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How much?
That sounds like a good idea.
We're pretty early on here and ending this. Let's do 2.
Okay.
So I think that would bring my 12 grit to 10 grit.
3 cards.
3 cards.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Let's do it. Let's take a look. Let's see what we got.
Spicy.
Just while the goyles are heading and
Sure.
Oh.
going back.
So
My sight is 6. I've got a heart in that. So
2 successes.
2 successes. Cool.
Um.
Doing a lot better this time, folks, but let's not jinx it.
So if you recall, Aetheros are ranked 1 through 10, and this is a rank 6 Aetheros, which isn't not out of this world, but it's a pretty beefy. Its manifestation, at least one of them, is mists. What the Aztec Order of the Illuminists has identified as mists, the mists, and an Aetheros that has the mists is usually very misty and foggy, as you have already noted, but the mists often almost can come alive at times and obscure things or make it hard to see things or things that are in the shadows. And that is pretty much what you get from that. I think at this point, though, we're going to have to bring this to a close. With
sure, I was going to say who's the last one to pass me?
Mary Mac
of Mary Mac. Okay, cool. Yeah, kind of almost to kind of bookend catching someone on the elbow in the beginning. She's going to kind of catch Mary Mac on the elbow because. Just from last game, I feel like Mary Mac kind of brought her into this. She would kind of catch her on the elbow and just be like, there's something amidst in the mist. I think we need to keep our eyes open here.
That was a really good pun, and I agree with you entirely.
Well, I mean, I like to think we speak each other's language at this point. we deal in puns.
No, I agree. This
place kind of grin. She'll just be like,
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
No, like when she says that, she'll kind of grin at her and just be like, but yeah, no, so, I don't. Yeah, we need to keep an eye out.
To bring this to a close right now, I'm gonna say you're sitting down in the doctor's office. The doctor is pouring Marla, a little shot of whiskey. Offers one to all of you as well. The two of you have your brief conversation outside and come in, and almost as like tendrils of fog sort of swirl around on the floor and then dissipate as you come in to the room.
Yeah.
And we will call this a night, I think. We'll begin the conversation. Dang. Well, it's 8:59, and we need to wrap up by 9. So rather than getting in the middle of a conversation.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in, though.
Yeah,
I will say
you
all did an amazing job, and thank you so much, May, for popping in.
Really, thank you so much
for joining us. This story arc. I'm loving Marwa. Very beautiful.
Yeah,
I love that you're like, give me the body.
Well, the body.
I as a front-end MC, I have a couple of sponsors we definitely want to mention. We want to mention, of course, the Kickstarter. Back it. There's the link somewhere in the comments that someone posted, and it was a beautiful, wonderful thing. Feel free to post that link again. Dracula's stepdaughter. And then other sponsors, we have the Ren Adventures Dungeons and Dragons Castle Tour. It is already half sold out.
Wow.
It's I think there's maybe 6 spots available. I haven't registered yet, and I want to, but I am holding back because I want to give other people an opportunity to take an adventure on this tour. It is so much fun. You can ask me or Paulo or half of the people of Ren Adventures or of Nat 21 Adventures what it was like. It's so much fun. And we have a new sponsor. Oh, that's right. Brand new sponsor. 3D2U is a traveling gaming shop that can be found online and at physical events in Southern New Jersey. Need a dice box? Great. Gaming swag? Check. A journal to write down your victories or notes about where you've hidden all your dead bodies? We got you. 3D2U wants to make a personalized gift that will help take your tabletop experience to the next level. Visit 3D2U.org. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. 3D2U.org. All right, I put a little extra ham in that. Also, you can see we do have shows Monday through Thursday. Tonight is the Nevermore American Gothic Horror Show. And then we come back next Monday with Lady Prudence at 8 p.m. We got Modern Monday. So you hit our Discord channel. You can request songs, and the amazing Lady Prudence will bring them to life. And then on Tuesday, it is the Nat 21 Adventures into the Feywild. It is our main game. Me and Soft Autumn Ingenue will be participating this season, or are participating. We are deep in Fey trouble right now. Oh my goodness, so much trouble.
Yeah, I watched.
And then you would know about the Fae there, Ian, wouldn't you? And it is exactly like your books, man. It is messed up. And then Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. it is Creating with the Crew. And then in the evening at 9 p.m. it is the original Gothic Horror. And then we're back again Thursday, Sonnets of Shakespeare at 10 a.m. where you get to write, work with Shakespeare to write sonnets every episode. It's like you're a real bard. And then we will be back one more week, maybe 2. I don't know. It could happen. One more week. 7 p.m. It is the Nevermore American Gothic Horror. We got a lot of Gothic Horror, but we are just jazzed to be here. Thank you so much again for tuning in. It has been a pleasure, and we could not do it without you, our fans. So don't forget to check out our Nat 21 Adventures Patreon or Ko-Fi. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
You guys are awesome. Thank you. I'll see you next week.
Signs.